been 48 hours since I got my shot on Jawbreaker, and I've been searching for him for every hour of daylight since. I've literally put in right about 23 hours of tracking time, and unfortunately I now have to call it quits. I've followed the trail as far as we could. We brought in 2 different blood tracking dogs, followed every possible avenue, grid searched every bedding area, walked every creek, checked every pond, and nothing. So this is it. I've done this interview like 7 times in the last day and a half, basically saying the same thing, but I'm just devastated, and gonna head home, pick myself up, and keep going. But this is definitely a low point for me ever as a hunter, and I feel awful about the entire situation, but it is what it is, and have to move on eventually. So I'm gonna go home and go from there.
It was October 18th, 2014. I was at the lowest point I'd ever been in as a hunter. I was absolutely disgusted with myself, and in those lonely moments standing there in the rain, I didn't know what to do next. All I thought I knew for sure was this season was turning into one of failure and heartbreak. This story began almost 2 years ago, during the summer of 2013. We'd recently acquired access to a new property in southern Ohio, and when scouting it on the first day, we bumped a big deer I'd later come to know as Jawbreaker.
What do you think, J.O.?
It was awesome. Awesome.
And after marveling at the brief encounter with the heavy antlered buck, we hung a stand, headed home, and then didn't plan on coming back until the first week in October.
Well, it's Tuesday afternoon. We're just about to head out for our first hunt on the Ohio lease. So, packing up our final things, we're gonna head to the woods. So I'm really using this spot here tonight as an observation sit. It's our first time ever hunting this farm. So if nothing else, tonight I'm hoping to see how deer are crossing or using this open area. Hoping to hopefully see some deer and learn a thing or two about this property tonight. Buck here. They're watching on the buck hour. It's about 75 yards. Just need to come in another 15 yards and get a shot. We just finished up, me and Josh finished up our first hunt here on our new lease in Ohio, and it went pretty darn well. I had a really close encounter with just a giant 9-pointer. Just couldn't quite get him close enough. He came into 70. I feel pretty comfortable at 60 yards. He just would not close that final distance, so I wasn't willing to risk a bad shot. But nonetheless, awesome encounter. This lease is going to work out pretty well for us, so we're excited about it. And now we are going to check our trail camera.
Right away, the big buck from that night began showing up.
Oh,
That's him.
I don't know if it is him.
It has got to be him. Look at that
Oh
body.
my God.
That's a
That
stud.
thing is huge.
Jawbreaker. I named him Jawbreaker, and from there on out, the hunt was on. Unfortunately, over the course of dozens of hours and many days on stand, I wouldn't get another look at him until November 24th.
Well, good morning. It is Sunday morning, 12:30 a.m., and I'm heading to Ohio. I'm leaving this early. I just slept for 2 hours because I want to get down to our Ohio lease in time to hunt in the morning. So it's gonna be a little bit of a tough drive tonight, but I want to get down there. Big cold front hit. It's down to the teens. Hopefully, it's gonna be worth this drive. In about 5 hours, I'll be able to get settled in that tree stand and start seeing some good deer. See what happens.
Things are off to a good start. I'm gonna make this short because I think I've got a deer moving along the hillside behind me, but I already have seen a doe and a small buck this morning. It's freezing cold in the teens, and it seems like that's got the deer on their feet. So I'm gonna turn the camera off and focus on this deer moving behind me. I just saw a Jawbreaker come walking across this field to the point across from me. He was disappearing in the woods, so I rattled and threw a snort wheeze at him. And kept glassing that area for another couple minutes, couldn't see anything. And then all of a sudden he popped out of the woods. He came walking across right towards me. He's just entering the timber I'm sitting in right now. Hopefully he's gonna keep coming my way.
Once again, a close call, but I just couldn't close the deal. And just a few weeks later, I had another encounter, but still couldn't make it happen. And as my 2013 season came to a close, I knew that Jawbreaker would be my Moby Dick in 2014. In the months to come, we'd hang trail cameras, scout new areas, and put up new tree stands. And finally in August, we returned to check our cameras. And of course, Jawbreaker was back as a regular.
I'm just checking this camera, and every picture we've looked at has just been a buck. Oh my God. Holy stink pig. Mother of God. Monster. Freakazoid. Hog. Oh, thank you, Lord. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. That makes all the crappy camera pictures I got this year in Michigan all okay. Because we got a giant.
Without a doubt, he was the buck I was after. He was 6.5 years old, fully mature, and as big a buck as I'd ever seen in the body. He was just an amazing creature. And when we returned to hunt opening weekend, he was the buck I wanted to see more than any other.
Doesn't seem like it was that long ago that I was back in the same stand here in December of 2013, but here we are, a new year. I'm pretty excited. Kind of interesting, since the end of August, the only buck we have on camera and hard to warn is Jawbreaker. So I don't know if he's just running off all the other deer, but we do have a number of pictures in. Here's one. Here's another one of him during daylight. Another one you can see. He's just a stud. Massive body. So hoping that he'll move through here tonight. He's been my number one buck for the last 2 years here on this property, so I would love to get an arrow at him. So cross my fingers, maybe we'll have some early season success with Jawbreaker. But if not, we'll be back here towards the rut, and hoping we can get it done then.
We finished that weekend with no sightings of Jawbreaker. And the plan from there was simply to wait until the end of October and the rut before we would head back to Ohio again. But a few weeks later, I did something kind of crazy.
Well, doing something kind of crazy today. It's October 15th, and I was sitting in my office this morning, working on some articles, had plans to do a bunch of work. And I was actually editing a editing a blog post together, featuring a reader who had sent in his story of an awesome hunt he had recently in Ohio, a cold front hit, the wind was right, a little bit of rain I think was in the forecast, and he went in for a hunt, and he killed his top buck. And his video was featured on Midwest Whitetail, so I pulled it up, was watching that for a couple minutes, and for whatever reason, it got me thinking, man, I've got those same conditions right now in Ohio on my farm. Cold front hit overnight. It dropped from the mid-70s yesterday to high 50s today. A little bit of light rain. I'm gonna go in there on a kill Jawbreaker. So impromptu, around 9:30, I started running around packing my stuff, threw everything in the truck, and now I'm driving 5 hours down to southern Ohio, and I'm gonna try to kill my #1 buck. This is kind of out of my comfort zone. I'm usually not so last minute crazy like this, but I just have a feeling, and it just hit me. Anything can happen tonight. And man, I'm pumped up. I'm more excited and nervous, and I don't know, I guess I'm nervous than I've been in a long time about a hunt. I just got a feeling, got that gut feeling. So you gotta go in, you gotta trust your gut, and I'm doing it. Going for broke, going for Jawbreaker, anything can happen.
Alright, it's October 15th, and I just drove straight down from Michigan, kind of on a whim. Wasn't planning on hunting here at all for another couple weeks, but a cold front came through last night, dropping temperatures nearly 20 degrees. And I've got the perfect wind to hunt a set I've been waiting for. This tree stand I'm in tonight is only 100 yards away from a big buck bed that I found this spring. And I gotta believe that Jawbreaker, my #1 buck, is probably using it, as I've seen him come out in and out of this little patch of cover several times last year. That said, I came down here. There's a little bit of rain, perfect wind, cool temperatures. I all set up. It really feels like a killing night. I'm feeling really good. So I'm gonna keep my talking to a minimum. I pulled a trail camera car, so I'm also gonna check those pictures here too. So this should be an exciting night. I've got high hopes, so really excited, a little jittery, and just hoping we can make something happen.
Well, my big trip down here to southern Ohio was a bust. I did not see a single deer, nothing. And on top of that, the trail camera I went to go check didn't take any pictures for the past 2.5 weeks. I think whoever set that up did not turn it on or something. So not what I was hoping for today, but so it goes. And head back to Michigan tomorrow, work for a couple days, and then back at it during the weekend. So hopefully things will only get better from here. Well, I think it's official. I'm a crazy person. You know, last night I had driven down 5 hours on a kind of spur of the moment gut feeling that I had to be down here and hunting because the conditions were right down here in southern Ohio. Hunted last night, didn't see a thing. So my plan was stay the night, get some work done in the hotel room, and then this morning get up early, drive home. Well, started driving home, got stuck in traffic. I don't know, I'm just sitting there thinking, man, I drove all the way down here for just one hunt, didn't see anything. Conditions tonight aren't bad. They're a little less great than they were yesterday, but still not bad. It's going to be 58 to 60 degrees, light west wind. I'm thinking, man, maybe I should just give it another shot tonight. So, I don't know, I'm kind of decided. I'm going to pull off somewhere, stop at a coffee shop, do a little work, do some thinking. But I'm thinking, I'm here. Second day after a cold front, could still be worth a hunt. So we're gonna see. Maybe I'm gonna turn around, go to Michigan. Maybe I'm gonna stay here and hunt. Who knows what I'm doing these days? I'm all over the place. So hopefully I'll make the right decision, and maybe I'll have another hunt tonight and have a shot at a deer. We'll see. Maybe fate will shine. I'm all packed up, ready to go. Gonna head in for one more hunt, hopefully get a shot at Jawbreaker. Gonna be set up close to his bedding area again. This time on the south, southwest, or southeast side of it. With this wind direction, I should be able to get in there pretty good. So, cross my fingers, hope the second time's a charm. We'll see.
Well, it's 10-7, and I'm worried we might have a repeat of last night. Still not a single deer sighted. 0 yesterday, 0 today. Been a little tough. Hoping things will change in these last 10-20 minutes.
Right.
Oh my God. I just got a shot on Jawbreaker, but I hit back. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think he's a dead deer. I think he's a dead deer. Oh, please, Lord, let that be. Let him go down. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say. I cannot believe this. I'm just gonna freaking out. I'm just texting people on my phone. I cannot believe this happened. I need to find this. He's so huge. His body's so huge. Everything's so. Oh my gosh. I just watched the footage again, and I can't get a good look at the shot because I didn't realize this, but I zoomed in too far on that deer, and I keep hearing noise over there. But I couldn't see the shot because he was in the very bottom right corner of the frame. I did get the shot on film, but it's not centered at all. And when I watch it on my video camera screen, the play button covers him, so I can't see where I hit him. But in my head, if this is his body, let's say this is his head right here, that's his front shoulder, back legs, I'm pretty sure I hit him like right there. So front of the gut or back of the liver. I'm not happy with the shot at all, but I just gotta pray that it's gonna be okay, and that should be a dead deer. I just gotta give him time. Gotta give him a lot of time. So I'm gonna say my prayers and hope that I can recover this buck. I'm upset at myself about the shot, but what can you do? It was so fast. It happened so fast. Literally the whole 20, 30 seconds, not even 20 seconds. And I just really need to find that buck. I can't believe it.
Given my concern over that shot placement, I backed out and returned to my hotel room. And that night, after reviewing the footage, I saw that my shot was even farther back than I thought, as my arrow had deflected off a small limb. And my decision to leave the buck overnight ended up being a good one. And so the next morning, my friend Andy came down with his tracking dog to help me pick up the trail.
All right, we're at the scene of the shot. Starting trail. We're 500 yards away from where we hit Jawbreaker, so we're gonna sneak in there real quiet. Got Junebug on the job, tracking dog, and hopefully make something happen here pretty soon. Junebug's down the right trail. We've been following her, trying to find blood as much as possible. And the way she was leading us, we couldn't find any blood, but just found a good bit. So she's on the trail.
and we're in business. So I'm just hoping he starts opening up here because I barely find anything. All right, we just found our first good blood, so feel good about that. Here it is.
We got on the trail for Jawbreaker and was on the blood for about 200 yards, but eventually it dried up.
I eat cornfields because dogs want to run down trails, and you know what I mean? It's all it is trails, every direction.
Came to this cornfield and got maybe 40 yards in the corn, lost blood, and the dog got really not confident at all. So we were stalled there for maybe 15, 20 minutes, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm stuck here at last blood. Andy's up ahead with the dog trying to find another spot. I'm nervous as heck, but cross my fingers and say my prayers.
From there we began grid searching, but eventually Andy had to leave. Got into the afternoon and another friend came up to help me search, but after the whole day, still nothing.
Back here at the Flea Bag Motel. I'm gonna try one more time, but I'm devastated. I guess is the only way to describe the feelings. Just, I don't know. I feel like I'm always here in Ohio giving these really depressing interviews. It's kind of a bummer. I'm now missing a buck last year here and now wounding this deer I've been after for 2 years. It's heartbreaking.
Wired to Hunt Reader came down with a tracking dog and amazingly volunteered to help me out. And so we went back out for day 2. Still, after another full 12 hours of searching, daylight faded. And I had to come to terms with the fact that I was not going to recover Jawbreaker. I was devastated.
We're back in the truck. Just lost the blood, and the dog lost the trail, and did a lot of looking around there and just can't find anything. I'll probably stay here the rest of the day till dark, just walking, hoping to maybe get lucky and come across something. But pretty heartbroken right now, and very, very, very upset. It's gonna be a long rest of the season. So cross my fingers.
Heading home that night in the truck, I thought through the hunt over and over. What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? Why did this happen? I tore myself apart, inside and out. And over the coming days, I got increasingly down on myself. I wounded an incredible deer and possibly caused him to suffer. I put all the pieces together perfectly, got a shot at the deer I was after, the biggest buck of my life. And then I botched the final step. I let myself down. I let my family down. I let Jawbreaker down. Over time though, I had to come to terms with the situation. I resolved myself to learn from the experience, and I got ready to get back out there. And on November 5th, after 5 unsuccessful days hunting in Indiana, I headed back to Ohio with hopes of redemption. Maybe, just maybe, Jawbreaker had survived.
Well, it's the morning of November 5th, and I'm back down in Ohio for the first time since October 16th. I went and checked trail cameras to see if I had any other pictures of him, possibly to see if he possibly made it, since that hit was pretty bad on him. Well, I've got good news. Jawbreaker's back. I cannot tell you how relieved I am that he made it. That picture was taken 6 days after the shot. He looks good. So I gotta believe if he made it 6 days, he's gotta still be kicking now. Very, 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 very happy that he survived that.
With Jawbreaker unbelievably back on trail camera, I was thrilled beyond belief. And that night, I made the decision that it was Jawbreaker or bust. I was going to finish the deal or go home with an unfilled tag. And so that night, based on what I knew about Jawbreaker and his habits, I put together a plan to go after him the next morning. When the alarm clock went off, I woke up and snuck in around 3 a.m. to hang a new stand. And then wait for for daylight.
Alright, it's the morning of November 6th, and I think I'm set up in a pretty dynamite spot. I'm downwind of a major doe bedding area on this property, and some thick CRP, and I'm right in a section where this area of timber pinches down, or the travel through this timber pinches down because there's a fence, and there's a fence opening essentially, where a lot of these deer cross through. So I think any bucks that are cruising the downwind edge of this bedding area are gonna have to pass right in front of me going through that crossing. So I'm pretty excited to see what might happen. I unfortunately had a doe wind to me this morning while I was getting set up in the tree. I actually came in and set up a portable stand this morning because we didn't have a stand on this side of this bedding area with the wind, you know how it is. So got set up, and I think it's really good. Alright. I just smoked a giant. I think that might have been Jawbreaker. I think that was Jawbreaker. I don't know. Oh my gosh. That was a good shot. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my good Lord. That is a dead deer. I just smoked a giant. I think it's him. I'm not kidding. I think it's him, baby. I think I got him. I'm pretty sure a heart shot, and the shot was money. The shot was money, dude. But this rain's coming in strong. I'm worried about that. Let's do it, man. I'd say I'm gonna get down and find the arrow and look at that, and then I worry about this rain, so we might need to pick it up sooner. Well, I got down from my stand, went and found the arrow, and I got a full pass through. There's not much of anything on the arrow. It's kind of wiped clean. A little bit of blood on the veins, and a little bit of white hair. But I saw that arrow hit right behind the shoulder. Looked like a heart shot. So I'm thinking maybe the exit wound was a little low and got that white on the bottom of the edge of the belly. So I'm gonna take a look at the footage in the truck here, and Josh and Corey are on their way.
How long was he standing there?
I watched him for, I don't know, 5 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
But like, what was nuts? Well, oh gosh, it's crazy. So he's coming in, I'm like, holy smokes, big buck, I'm like, it's him. And I'm filming him, and he's walking away down the point, so I grunt. And all of a sudden I see his head come up over the hill because he went down behind this hill, turned away. I grunted, he puts his head up, looks back, and then turns, comes in like, oh, it's happening. He stops and looks right at me. I'm like, well, no. He's like 25 yards away, but I can't get a shot. He's looking right at me. I'm like, oh no. So I'm just frozen there. He stares at me for like 30 seconds and puts his head down, stares at me for another 30 seconds, takes another step. And at this point, he gets behind just enough, puts his head down enough. I'm like, I need to draw. So I drew back.
Yeah.
I draw back, takes another step, stares at me. And then he stares at me for like a minute or two. I don't know, it felt like forever. But he's staring at me, and I'm full drawn, and I'm shaking. And then all of a sudden, my legs lost control. Like, literally like this.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I've had that before. It feels like
I'm like, oh my, he's staring at me, and he's like, he's doing this. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose this deer because my legs are shaking so much. I'm doing this. So literally, I'm like, you need to stop. So I tensed my entire, like, I flexed everything up in my body as much as possible.
and they stop. I'm just like, takes one more step, and the whole time I'm like, I got the pin right in front of him, like on his neck, waiting for him to take one more step to come in lane. And
Yep.
he took one more step, and boom.
Is he good? 20, 25 yards then?
20 yards.
20 yards.
The shot was good. We confirmed it was Jawbreaker, and we headed out to track.
I'm so nervous right now.
Getting closer. I don't see him, but I'm just up here. See him? He's here. Where's he at?
Right there.
Where? Where?
He's right there. Oh my god. Oh, I got him.
Dude, he's laying up
Oh,
there.
I see him. I see him.
I still don't even see the further deer. Awesome, man. Awesome. Oh, yeah, there he is. Yeah, baby. Woo! That is awesome. Yeah. He's giant. Oh. Thank God, dude. He's a pig. Mark Kenyon. Oh, my Lord. That's a stud. He's a pig.
Look at where he shot him. How did he go that far?
I know.
This is not Jawbreaker.
I don't know. It's not. I don't think so either.
It wasn't Jawbreaker. Despite the almost identical frame, the big body, the crab claws, the taller right brow tine, the G3s that are longer than his G2s, everything lined up perfect. But it wasn't him. Unbelievably, I killed the nearly identical but slightly smaller version of Jawbreaker, and I was shocked. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed. But soon I realized I'd just killed an absolutely beautiful buck, and I was blessed to have had that opportunity. Despite the dismay that plagued me over the course of this roller coaster ride, I can now see that things have worked out just fine. I've been to my lowest place as a hunter, and then climbed back out of it. I'd learned from my mistakes, forged new strength, and resolved myself to continue on through adversity. And in the end, I'd learned to appreciate whatever it is that life brings you. I don't know if Jawbreaker did in fact survive that shot, and I may never be able to tell for sure, but what I do know is that he'll live on in my memory for a lifetime. Every time I climb into a tree, I'll think of him. Every time I draw back an arrow, I'll remember. Every time I pick up a blood trail, I'll think of his strength and resolve. And on those special days when it all comes together and I place a hand on flesh, fur, and antler, I'll give thanks to the bucks that got away, and for the hunter they've made me into. Just after we'd finished putting this episode together, I returned to Ohio for the spring shed hunt, and within just a few short minutes of walking, I got the answer to the question that's haunted me since October. As you might imagine, it was a heartbreaking discovery. But at this point, I don't think there's much more to be said that I haven't already. So I'll leave you with these words from a Wired Hunt reader, who messaged me this one sentence after I posted the news of Jawbreaker's final resting place. It was simply this: long live Jawbreaker.